I think we started the game on our terms. You know, we talked all week about everyone just do your job was kind of the motto and the theme for the week, and I think a lot of guys did that and got the message. Kept things simple. You know, didn't try to play out of each other's comfort zones. Played to each other's strengths. You know, there was a couple dicey moments, but at the same time, it's good to get a 0 at home. Something to build on. Obviously, with the Cup final coming. Important, just like it was important for Kansas City to get a little momentum and get a win. Two teams that have been, you know, us and them have been kind of up and down lately. So happy for us in terms of the confidence of the locker room. I think the guys earned everything tonight. I thought they earned all 3 points. Was very happy for Tranquilo to get a goal. He's been kind of robbed a couple of times by good goalkeeping, a couple big saves on him. You know, I'll be hard on him and say he should have got the third goal. But, you know, happy with his overall game tonight. A lot of guys had good nights, you know. So, again, we're a team that when, you know, 7 or 8 are checking the plus side, we're going to come out on top. But we need all 7 or 8 just to even have a chance. And tonight was a night where you had 2 desperate teams in their respective conferences. So, you know, we talked about at halftime. Owen was going to give them a talking to, you know, and then we were going to get their best punch in the first 15 minutes of the half. And that would make or break our, I started to say this game, but then I said our season, because it is at that stage. There's desperation, but this group has responded well for whatever reason when our backs are against the wall, whether it's red cards or, you know, tough games on the road where we perform better than for some reason at home. But happy tonight. Fans were great, and always feels good to get 3 points.
Matt, here. Jim Tranquilo's had some really good performances lately that kind of been overshadowed. What can you say about him, and what does it mean for him to get that goal finally?
Yeah, he does a lot of dirty running. His passing has been very good. He's getting sharper and sharper, used to his teammates. You're starting to see some combinations. You know, I thought in the first half when we were just able to put, it sounds simple, but when we were able to just put 3 passes and move the ball a little bit side to side, it wound up with a good opportunity for us. And Tranquilo was usually involved in those moves to goal. So happy with him. He's been asked to do a lot centrally, out wide, and he has been a true professional with everything that's been thrown at him. He's captained our team as well. So, you know, getting thrown into a team late, he's been everything that we could hope for on the field and in the locker room. You know, a lot of the things he brings to our young players, you know, people don't see each day. But he is a guy who's done it at the highest level, you know, in the Champions League. So he brings a lot to our group. You know, I thought it was important to have him in there to close out the game tonight. That's why we didn't make too many subs. So happy for him. And he deserved a goal tonight and could have got a second.
John McCarthy had a few shaky moments in the first half, but responded well.
Yeah.
Given that he's now started the last couple games, is he your guy for the Open Cup?
Yeah. Not going to give Peter any head start on who to prepare for. So was happy with the shutout. Obviously, you know, there's certain things Johnny can improve. I just talked about it with Paulo. You know, the consistency of his goal kicks, little things, little details that, you know, he needs to continue to work on and bring. You know, Andre's a guy who I'm happy with as well. So again, it's a bit of a feel thing. You want them to be going into the game confident. So we do have a plan in place for it. I'll let you guys kind of speculate as to what you think that might be. But again, 2 good young goalkeepers. We only have 2 that can play. You know, Brian Silvestri unfortunately is not in the mix for it. But I'm confident in both, and we'll make the decision for New England, and then obviously going into the Cup final as well.
You mentioned the lack of subs. You had Maurice Edu coming back. You have guys who've played a lot of minutes. Can you explain the rationale for not giving Fernando or Vittoria or Ayuk a look in?
We had to win the game, and I felt like it was comfortable. You know, the guys on the field were doing a good job. You know, I thought that you know, Houston had a few chances here or there, maybe towards the end, but I wanted to show that I believed in the group to close the game. You know, I think Chaco had some heavy legs. It was important for Mo to push through. At center back for Mo, I think it's fitness-wise, center back's a I don't want to say a joke to him, but it's a walk in the park. He's kind of a freak athlete. I don't think it was, he'd tell you the same thing. It wasn't his cleanest game on the ball, but he has to get that rust off going into the final. And Steven is still in the mix for the final at center back as well, too. And, we all know that he's been in good form. So, we have a tough decision to make. I didn't think it was smart to play Mo in the midfield in his first game back just because of the ground you have to cover. It's a totally different position. The lunging, the reaching for balls, it would have been, 5 or 6 times the amount that he did at center back in a night where we had a good idea. It would be Will Bruin up top. Will's a great player, but he's not the threat in behind. So we thought that would be the smartest way to go right now. Happy for him to get 90 minutes and keep a clean sheet. But he holds himself to a high standard, and he knows he can do even better and be sharper.
Joe here on the right. How do you try and capitalize momentum with the Open Cup, on short rest of the New England game, but still in the playoff race as well? How do you manage that and make sure that you have the guys in to get 3 points up New England?
Yeah, it's a hard thing. It's a balancing act. Brad Friedel, who did the game, he talked about he's been on teams where he's been in this situation, and it's very difficult to keep the guys focused on the next game because there is always that. Everyone has the eye on the cup and how close we were last year. So that is a big factor. We just needed a good performance, though. I think we've got good performances. Again, for whatever reason, on the road in Montreal, in San Jose, and we haven't responded at home. Again, I will say, if you look at Columbus and you look at how New England has been playing, those are top teams in the East. So there is something to that. Montreal's playing well now as well. So again, you have to weigh your opponent. But we have New England next. To go there is difficult. We'll find the right balance of lineup to give guys the proper rest and proper confidence going into a final. I'll tell you, there will be no regrets in my mind in terms of whether we're fresh or not for the final. We will be fresh for sure.
Jim, without looking ahead, just how important was it for the guys to feel good about getting a W at home?
Huge. It's huge. For whatever reason, part of it I think is they press a little bit at home to get on the ball and make a final pass that leads directly to a goal or you get an assist. And all week we talked about playing with a smile on your face. If you're not enjoying yourself and you're pressing, it's no good. And that's how it's kind of looked against New England and Columbus at home, where we're tense and we're uptight and maybe forcing the issue and playing a lot of long balls and dumping. So we tried to talk about playing a little better out of the back. We weren't perfect, and we know we need to upgrade and improve that as much as we can as we go. But at the same time, you did see a lot of smiles out there. Getting the goal early always helps because it takes the pressure off a little bit, puts the pressure on Houston to come a little and opened up some space for us. Wish we could have got a couple more goals. I think we executed really well on the counter up until the final shot or final pass, and made a few good saves on us as well on blocks at the last second. So, but overall happy with the guys' performance.
Just to go back to something you said, you're talking about Maurice Edu coming back into the midfield. He hasn't played there in a long time, and obviously building out of the back is something that he's helped your team excel at. Mm-hmm. Is that on the table for the immediate future and the final, or is that something longer term?
Yeah, I'm going to look at my full – I'm not giving you anything, Eli. I'm going to look at my full selection of players. It helps to have guys in good form. I think tonight when you look down the bench, that was our strongest bench. I think it was important for all those guys to go 90, knowing that, the New England game, while we're going to try and win it, we'll have, like I said, we'll have fresh legs for the final. So, again, that sharpness, that we can raise the bar a little bit. I still think there's moments in the second half where we panic a little bit too much and aren't able to just make this simple play and roll it soft to the next guy. Instead, we're shoving it in and it's bouncing at his ankles and he has to reach for it and it's tough. But part of that is just nerves and settling down and making the right play. But I think the group will be ready for New England and obviously Kansas City. If you can't get up for that, then you don't have a pulse.
Last one here, Joe. Knowing the tendencies that Shane has defending weaknesses that you wanted to exploit?
No. Again, I saw Shannon's quotes on the week. It's a non-issue with me. Again, he's a player that I liked a lot. Player that was traded. Trades happen in the league. It's an unfortunate part of pro sports, but maybe he's misquoted or whatever. But no, we had no intention of going at Shannon in any way, shape, or form. To be honest, we didn't know whether he'd play on the left or the right. So, again, good player. It's not about individuals. It's about teams, though.